I was halfway through presenting quarterly projections to senior executives when my phone started buzzing in my pocket. I ignored it. This 3-day leadership retreat wasn't just important, it was everything. 2 years of grinding towards senior management came down to this weekend, and I wasn't about to let anything derail it. But the buzzing didn't stop. It came again, then again. During a bathroom break, I finally checked. 12 missed calls from a number I didn't recognize. My stomach dropped. But not because I was worried. I'd learned to recognize the pattern by now. The manufactured urgency, the timing that always seemed to coincide with something important in my career. This felt like another one of those moments. Then I saw the voicemail. I stepped into the hallway, pressed play, and heard a voice that made everything go cold. "This is Officer Harris with County Police. We need you to call us back immediately regarding an incident at your residence." I dialed back without hesitation. My hand was steady. When the officer answered, I kept my voice calm. "This is about my house. What's going on?" There was a pause on the other end. "Sir, we're at your residence right now. Your wife called 911 about 40 minutes ago claiming you physically assaulted her and left her bleeding. We need you to come home immediately." I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so perfectly predictable. "Officer, I'm currently at the Pinewood Conference Center about 200 miles away. I've been here since Thursday morning. It's Saturday afternoon. I haven't been home in 2 days." Silence. Then he said, carefully, "Sir, your wife has visible bruising on her face and arms. She's very distressed." I took a breath. "I'm sure she is. But I haven't been home. Check my Ring doorbell camera. Check the footage from Thursday morning when I left at 7:15. You'll see I haven't been back since." The officer asked how to access the cameras, and I gave him the login information. While he was checking, I pulled up my laptop right there in the conference center hallway and logged into the Ring app myself. "Officer, are you seeing the footage from Thursday morning? 7:15. I'm leaving with my suitcase. Now scroll forward. Notice anything?" There was a long pause. "She never left the house," he said slowly. "Correct," I replied. "Now go to today's footage. Start around noon." I was already watching it on my screen. There she was, my wife of 6 years, standing in our bathroom with her makeup bag open. She was carefully applying dark purple and blue eyeshadow to her cheekbone, blending it until it looked exactly like a bruise. I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness. Just a cold, clear understanding that I'd married someone capable of this. "Officer, keep watching. She's just getting started." On the screen, she moved to the bedroom. The camera there caught her punching herself in the arm. Once, twice, 3 times. Hard enough to leave marks. Then she practiced her crying face in the mirror, adjusting her expression until it looked convincing. I heard someone whisper on the other end of the line. "Christ," I kept my voice steady. "There's more. Check her phone. She texted her friend Zara last night. Something about how if she called 911, I'd have to come home and forget about this promotion trip." I could hear rapid conversation in the background. Then Officer Harris came back on. "Sir, we're going to need you to send us everything you have. Hotel records, conference attendance logs, anything that proves your location." I was already pulling it up on my laptop. "I'll email it to you in 5 minutes. Security footage from the hotel showing me at dinner last night. My conference badge has electronic swipe records every time I entered a session. I can prove I've been here the entire time." The officer's voice softened. "We appreciate your cooperation. Sir, I have to ask, why would your wife do this? I looked out the window at the conference center, at the room full of executives who were about to decide my future. Because she wanted me to fail, I said simply. She's been trying to sabotage this promotion for months. This was just her final play. There was a pause. Then Officer Harris said, "Well, sir, I think you should know we're placing her under arrest. False reporting, filing false evidence, and misuse of emergency services. These are serious charges." I nodded to myself. "I understand, officer. I'll be heading back tomorrow as planned. I'm not cutting this retreat short. She doesn't get to win." He said that was my call, and we hung up. I stood there in that hallway for a moment, staring at my phone. Then it buzzed again. A text from her. "Why aren't you answering? I need you." I typed back without hesitation. "The police called. Nice try." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, her response came through. "You don't understand. I can explain." I replied, "Explain it to your lawyer," and blocked her number. I forwarded all the camera footage and hotel records to Officer Harris, then walked back into the conference room. My presentation was up next. I delivered the best presentation of my career. Because nothing clears your head quite like watching your marriage implode in high-definition video and realizing you're better off without it. When I got back to my hotel room that night, I had 17 missed calls from her family. I didn't return any of them. Instead, I opened my laptop and started documenting everything. Every manipulative text, every time she'd tried to make me choose between her and my career, every guilt trip about working late or attending conferences. I'd been walking through a minefield for years. I just didn't realize it until she finally detonated one right in her own face. Tomorrow I'd finish the retreat. Monday I'd call a divorce attorney. But that night, I ordered room service, poured myself a drink, and watched the lake view from my window. My wife was learning that false accusations have consequences. And I was learning that sometimes the trash takes itself out. You just have to be smart enough not to bring it back inside. The thing is, I should have seen it coming. Not the fake 911 call specifically, but something. She'd been escalating for months. It started back in March when my boss mentioned the senior management opening. I came home excited, told her about the opportunity. She smiled, congratulated me, then spent the next hour listing reasons why it would ruin our marriage. More hours at the office, more travel, more stress. She made it sound like I was choosing my career over her. I wasn't. I was choosing my career over her manipulation. There's a difference. In April, I had a 3-day training session in the city. Nothing major, just professional development. She called me 17 times the first day. When I didn't answer during sessions, she sent texts saying she felt sick, that something was wrong, that she needed me home. I called back during lunch. She was fine, shopping with Zara, actually. I could hear them laughing in the background. "Oh, I feel better now that I heard your voice," she said sweetly. That's when I started keeping records. Screenshots of texts, call logs. I didn't know why then, just instinct. By June, she was openly hostile about the promotion. We'd be having dinner and she'd make comments. "Must be nice to care more about a title than your wife." Or my personal favorite, "I hope your office keeps you warm at night when I'm gone." I asked her once, directly, why she was so against this. "Because you're changing," she said. "You're not the man I married." I told her, "You're right, I'm better." She didn't like that answer. The retreat announcement came in late July. 3 days, mandatory for anyone being considered for senior positions. Leadership exercises, networking, presentations. She went silent when I told her, just stared at her phone. "You're going," she said flatly. I nodded. "Yes." She looked up at me. "Even though it's our anniversary week?" Our anniversary was in 2 weeks, not the same week, but I knew better than to point that out. "I'll make it up to you," I said, already knowing nothing would be enough. She nodded slowly. "I'm sure you will." That's when the campaign started. Sudden doctor appointments she needed me to attend. Her car making a noise only I could diagnose. Family drama that required my immediate input. Every single time, it coincided with something work-related. I went to the appointments. The doctor said she was perfectly healthy. I checked her car. Nothing wrong. The family drama? Her sister Irene later told me she had no idea what I was talking about. "She said you needed help with your mom," I told Irene. "Our mom's on a cruise," Irene said, confused. "Has been for 2 weeks." Wednesday, before the retreat, I was packing. She stood in the doorway watching me. "I don't feel safe when you're gone," she said. I looked up from my suitcase. "We have an alarm system, cameras. The neighbors are right next door." She shook her head. "That's not what I mean." I asked what she did mean, but she just walked away. At the time, I thought it was more emotional manipulation. Now I realized she was setting the stage. Thursday morning, I left at 7. Kissed her goodbye. She was still in her robe, coffee in hand, looking small and sad. I felt guilty for about 15 minutes. Then I got on the highway and felt free for the first time in months. The first day of the retreat was incredible. No texts every 10 minutes. No calls during lunch. No manufactured emergencies. I participated in discussions, actually engaged with my colleagues, impressed the executives leading the sessions. That night, back in my hotel room, I finally checked my phone. 43 texts. The first few were normal. "Have a good day. Miss you already." Then they shifted. "You could have called. I guess you're too busy for me now." This is exactly what I was afraid of. I typed back a simple response. "In sessions all day. We'll call tomorrow during break." Her reply came immediately. "Don't bother. I know where I stand." I didn't respond. For the first time in our marriage, I didn't take the bait. Friday was more of the same. I turned my phone on silent during sessions, checked it at lunch. More texts, increasingly desperate. She tried calling my boss, called the conference center directly. They told her they couldn't interrupt sessions for personal calls unless it was an emergency. I could practically see the light bulb go off in her head. Friday night, I was having dinner with the other candidates and some executives. My phone was face down on the table, on silent. I saw it light up a few times but ignored it. This was important. One of the executives noticed. "Family okay?" he asked. I nodded. "They're fine, just checking in." He smiled approvingly. My wife used to panic when I traveled for work. Eventually, she realized I always came back. Yours will too. I smiled and agreed, but something in my gut said this was different. Saturday morning, I woke up to a text from her sent at 2 a.m., just one sentence. "If you loved me, you'd be home." I started typing a response, then deleted it. Typed again, deleted again. Finally, I just turned off my phone and went for a run. The presentation was at 10. I spent the morning rehearsing, refining my slides, getting into the right headspace. I was going to nail this. Nothing was going to stop me. My phone was off until I got back to my room after that bathroom break. That's when I powered it back on and saw the missed calls, the voicemail from Officer Harris. While I was on the phone with the police, I pulled up her text thread with Zara. I'd installed a family tracking app months ago. the kind that lets you see texts if someone agrees to it. She'd agreed back when she wanted to track my location constantly. She forgot it went both ways. There it was, sent Friday night at 11 p.m., her. He's not answering, hasn't called all day. I need to make him understand this isn't okay. Zara. Maybe just let him focus on work. He'll be home Sunday. Her. Or, no. He needs to know I won't be ignored. If I call 911, he'll have to come home. Emergency. They'd make him leave. Zara. That's crazy. You can't fake an emergency. Her. Watch me. I've been researching. If I say he hit me, they take it seriously. Mandatory response. He'd have to come back and deal with it. Probably lose the promotion too. Show him what happens when he chooses work over me. I took screenshots of everything, forwarded them to Officer Harris. Then I sat there on my hotel bed, looking at 6 years of marriage dissolve into evidence of criminal conspiracy. My phone rang. Officer Harris again. Sir, we found the messages. We're taking her into custody now. I said, good. He paused. She's asking to speak with you. I replied, tell her I'm busy. I have a presentation to finish. I hung up, pulled out my laptop, and ran through my slides one more time. My hands weren't even shaking. The presentation went perfectly. Afterwards, my boss pulled me aside. You're getting the position, he said. Official announcement Monday, but I wanted you to know. You earned it. I thanked him. He studied my face. Everything okay at home? I saw you step out earlier. I nodded. Everything's fine. Just took care of some trash. He laughed, thinking I meant household chores. I didn't correct him. That night, I sat in the hotel bar with a whiskey, scrolling through years of text messages. Every guilt trip, every manipulation, every time she tried to make me small so she could feel big. I deleted her number, deleted the thread, deleted every photo. Then I called a divorce attorney whose card I'd kept in my wallet for 2 months. I need to file first thing Monday morning, I told him. He asked why the urgency. My wife just got arrested for filing a false police report. I want to make sure I file before she tries to spin this as me abandoning her in her time of need. He was quiet for a moment, then said, I'll have the papers ready. Sunday morning, I checked out of the hotel and drove home. Took my time, stopped for breakfast, enjoyed the silence. When I pulled into the driveway, there was crime scene tape across the front door, a notice from the police department, and a voicemail from her mother, Catherine, demanding I call her immediately. I went to a hotel instead. I wasn't setting foot in that house until I knew exactly what legal ground I was standing on. Catherine called again and again. Finally, I answered. How could you do this to her? She screamed. She's traumatized. She made a mistake, and you had her arrested. I kept my voice calm. She committed multiple crimes: false reporting, filing false evidence, wasting emergency resources. And she did it to sabotage my career. That's not a mistake. That's calculated. Catherine's voice rose. She just wanted you home. She was desperate. I replied, then she should have used her words like an adult, not fake a felony. She spat back, you're heartless. I said, no, I'm done. There's a difference, and hung up. I blocked her number too. My lawyer called an hour later. His name was Jacob. Came recommended by a colleague who'd gone through an ugly divorce. Just spoke with the prosecutor, he said. Your wife's being charged with 3 counts. She's trying to negotiate a plea deal. I asked, how soon can we file for divorce? He said he could have me served by Tuesday. Make it Monday, I told him. I want this moving fast. He promised he would. Monday morning, I met Jacob at 8. He slid a folder across his desk. "I've seen the police report," he said. "And I've seen the video footage your wife so kindly provided via her own security cameras. This is prosecutorial gold." I opened the folder. Photos of her applying makeup bruises, stills from the Ring camera showing her punching herself, transcripts of her texts to Zara, the fake 911 call audio, even the ambulance report noting that her injuries were superficial and inconsistent with her claims. "The prosecutor wants to make an example of this case," Jacob continued. "False domestic violence reports waste resources and damage credibility for actual victims. They're not offering a slap on the wrist." I nodded. "Good." He leaned back. "Your wife's attorney contacted me this morning. She wants to negotiate." I frowned. "Negotiate what?" Jacob smiled thinly. "She'll plead guilty to reduced charges if you agree not to file for divorce immediately. Give her time to get her story straight, apparently." I actually laughed. "Tell her attorney no. File the divorce papers today. I want her served while she's still processing what she did." Jacob's smile widened. "I was hoping you'd say that. I also recommend we file a restraining order. Given her willingness to fabricate criminal accusations, we need to protect you legally." I said, "Do it." By 10 a.m., the divorce papers were filed. By noon, she was served at the county jail where she was being held on bail. My phone rang 20 minutes later. "Unknown number," I answered. "You served me with divorce papers?" Her voice was shaking. "While I'm in jail?" I kept my tone even. "You filed false charges against me while I was at a work retreat. We both made choices." She started crying. "I made a mistake. I was emotional. I wasn't thinking." I cut her off. "You researched how to fake domestic violence. You texted your friend about your plan. You practiced in front of a mirror. That's not a mistake. That's premeditation." She sobbed. "I just wanted you to come home." I said, "Then you should have called and asked like an adult, not committed multiple felonies." She begged, "Please, please don't do this. We can fix this. I'll get help, therapy, whatever you want." I looked out the window of my hotel room. "I want a divorce. I want you out of my life completely. I want to never have to wonder if you're going to destroy my career or reputation because you're having a bad day." She whispered. "I would never," I interrupted. "You already did. You called 911 and accused me of beating you. You wasted police time, ambulance resources, and tried to get me arrested for something I didn't do. All because I wouldn't skip a work event." Silence on the other end. "There's nothing to fix here," I continued. "You showed me exactly who you are. I believe you." Her voice cracked. "You're really going to abandon me while I'm facing criminal charges?" I said quietly, "I'm not abandoning you. I'm protecting myself from you. There's a difference." She hung up. Or maybe her jail time ran out. Either way, the call ended. Jacob called that afternoon. "She's been released on bail. Her mother posted it. Just wanted you to know." He paused. "Restraining orders in place. Judge signed it an hour ago. She can't contact you, can't come within 500 feet of you, can't access your workplace. Violation means immediate arrest." I thanked him. He added, "She's going to violate it. They always do. Have your phone ready to record if she shows up anywhere." That evening, someone knocked on my hotel room door. I looked through the peephole. Catherine. I opened the door, but didn't invite her in. "We need to talk," she said. I replied, "No, we don't." Her face was flushed. "She's my daughter. She made a mistake. You're destroying her life over one bad decision." I kept my voice level. "She tried to have me arrested for domestic violence. I didn't commit. That's not a bad decision. That's a crime. Multiple crimes, actually. Catherine's voice rose. She was desperate. You were ignoring her for days. I shook my head. I was at a work retreat for 3 days. That's not ignoring her. That's having a job. She pointed a finger at me. You've always been cold, always put work first. She just wanted to feel important to you. I replied, so she faked being assaulted. That's your defense? She wanted attention, so she committed fraud. Catherine's face went red. You're twisting everything. I said calmly, no. The police are twisting everything into evidence against your daughter because she broke the law. If you loved her, you'd help her through this. I replied, if she loved me, she wouldn't have tried to ruin my life. We're done here. Don't contact me again. I closed the door. She knocked again, harder. I ignored it. Eventually, she left. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. This is Irene. I know you blocked Mom. I'm not here to defend what my sister did. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I saw the police report. I saw the videos. There's no excuse for that. I stared at the message for a minute, then typed back. I appreciate that. She replied, for what it's worth, I tried to tell her she was being obsessive about your job. She wouldn't listen. I think she's been spiraling for a while. I typed, that's not my problem anymore. Irene sent back, I know. Just wanted you to know not everyone in the family thinks you're the villain here. I replied, thanks. That was the end of that conversation. At least someone in that family had sense. Tuesday, I met with my boss to officially accept the promotion. He shook my hand, congratulated me, then paused. I heard about what happened, he said carefully. Your wife? Of course he heard. Small company. Word travels. It's being handled, I told him. He nodded. I'm sorry you're going through that. For what it's worth, you handled the retreat perfectly. Didn't let personal drama interfere with your work. That's exactly the kind of leadership we need. I thanked him. He added, if you need any time off to deal with legal matters, just let me know. I shook my head. I appreciate it, but I'd rather stay busy. Work is the one thing making sense right now. He smiled. I get that. My door's open if you need anything. The rest of the week was a blur of paperwork, evidence gathering, and lawyers. The prosecutor's office wanted my testimony for her criminal case. Jacob was building our divorce case. I was just trying to keep my head above water. Friday afternoon, I got a call from Officer Harris. Just wanted to update you, he said. Your wife's court date is set for 3 weeks from now. Preliminary hearing. She's pleading not guilty. I frowned. To what? There's video evidence. He sighed. Her attorney is claiming emotional distress, temporary insanity. They're trying to paint her as a victim of neglect, who snapped. I said flatly, that's insane. Officer Harris agreed. We know. Prosecutor knows. Judge will know. But they have to try something. He explained what would happen at the hearing. Evidence presented. Judge decides if there's enough to proceed to trial. Given what we have, he said, I'd say it's going to trial. I asked how long that would take. Few months, usually. But the divorce can proceed separately. That's civil court. I said, good. I want that done as soon as possible. Officer Harris added, can't blame you. I've seen a lot of domestic cases. This one's different. Usually the accused is actually guilty and claiming innocence. Here, the accuser fabricated everything, and you have proof. It's rare. I said dryly, lucky me. He laughed. Hang in there. Justice system's slow, but it works. After he hung up, I sat in my hotel room and realized something. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't hurt. I was just tired. Tired of drama, tired of manipulation, tired of constantly defending my right to have a career. But I was also free. For the first time in years, I could make decisions without calculating how she'd react. I could work late without guilt. I could focus on my future without someone trying to sabotage it. The price was high. Legal fees, emotional stress, the hassle of divorce. But it was worth it. Because the alternative was spending the rest of my life with someone who'd rather destroy me than let me succeed. And that wasn't a life. That was a prison sentence. I'd already served my time. Now I was just waiting for the paperwork to make it official. 3 weeks went by fast. I moved into a small rental, got settled into my new position, tried to build something resembling a normal life. The preliminary hearing was on a Thursday. I didn't have to attend, but Jacob suggested I show up. "Shows the judge you're taking this seriously," he said. So I went, sat in the back of the courtroom, watched her walk in with her attorney, looking small and defeated. She saw me. Her face crumpled. I didn't react. The prosecutor laid out the case, showed the ring camera footage, played the 911 call, read the text messages to Zara. It was damning. Her attorney stood up. "Your Honor, my client was experiencing severe emotional distress. She felt abandoned by her husband during a critical time in their marriage." The judge looked unimpressed. "Counselor, emotional distress doesn't justify filing a false police report." Her attorney tried again. She wasn't thinking clearly. She needed help, and this was a cry for attention. The judge said flatly, "A cry for attention that wasted emergency resources and could have resulted in an innocent man's arrest." Her attorney switched tactics. "My client is willing to seek therapy. She recognizes her actions were wrong." The judge replied, "She can seek therapy after she faces consequences. I'm ordering this to proceed to trial. Bail remains in effect. Next court date is 8 weeks from today." Her attorney tried to speak again, but the judge was done. Gavel down, case proceeding. Outside the courtroom, Catherine tried to approach me. I kept walking. She followed. "Please," she said, "talk to the prosecutor. Tell them she needs help, not jail time." I didn't stop. "She needs both." Catherine called after me. "You're vindictive. You want revenge." I stopped and turned to face her. "I want justice. There's a difference. Your daughter tried to destroy my career and have me arrested for something I didn't do. Now she's facing consequences. That's not revenge. That's cause and effect." Catherine's voice broke. "She's family," I said quietly. "She was my wife. She stopped being family when she lied to police about me beating her." I walked to my car. Catherine didn't follow. That evening, my phone rang. Unknown number again. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. "It's me," she said. I replied, "You're violating the restraining order." She said quickly, "I'm calling from my attorney's office. It's allowed for legal matters." I said, "Then have your attorney call my attorney. We have nothing to discuss." Her voice was pleading. "Please just listen. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But 8 weeks until trial. I can't handle this. The stress, the waiting, everyone knowing what I did." I said calmly, "You should have thought about that before you called 911. She sobbed. "I'm sorry. How many times do I have to say it?" I replied, "You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference." She whispered, "That's not fair." I said, "You want to talk about fair? You tried to ruin my life because I went to a work retreat. You fabricated assault charges. You wasted police time. And now you want sympathy? Silence. I continued. The divorce will be final in a few months. You'll serve whatever sentence the judge gives you, and then we'll both move on with our lives. Separately, forever. Her voice cracked. I still love you. I said quietly, no, you don't. You love controlling me. And when you couldn't control me anymore, you tried to destroy me. That's not love. I hung up, blocked that number too. Jacob called the next day. She's trying to negotiate a plea deal. 2 years probation, community service, mandatory therapy. I asked, will she have a criminal record? He nodded. Yes, felony conviction. It'll follow her everywhere. I said, good. Tell them we have no objection to the plea. Jacob asked, you don't want to push for jail time? I shook my head. I want this over. If she takes the plea, we're done faster. She gets a record, I get my life back. That's enough. The plea deal was accepted a week later. She pled guilty to 1 count of filing false evidence, 2 years probation, 300 hours of community service, mandatory counseling, and a permanent felony record. No jail time. But her life was permanently marked. The divorce moved faster after that. No trial to wait for, no criminal case hanging over everything, just paperwork and waiting. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel relieved. I just felt tired. But at least I felt free. 6 months after that Saturday phone call from Officer Harris, I signed the final divorce papers. Jacob slid them across his desk with a pen. That's it, he said. You're officially done. I signed my name, dated it, and pushed it back. How long until it's processed? Jacob smiled. Judge signs off next week. You'll get the certificate in the mail. After that, you're a free man. Free. The word felt strange. I'd been married for 6 years, together for 8. Now it was just paperwork and a signature. She signed yesterday, Jacob added. Didn't contest anything. Took her car, her debt, and left everything else. I asked, did she say anything? Jacob shook his head. Her attorney said she's moving in with her mother, starting her community service next month. She asked if you'd be willing to speak someday. I said simply, no. Jacob nodded. That's what I told them. I left his office and drove to my new place. 1 bedroom, decent neighborhood, affordable rent. It wasn't much, but it was mine. No shared lease, no memories, no drama. My phone buzzed. Text from Irene. Heard the divorce is final. I know you probably don't care, but she's not doing well. Lost her job at the dental office. Criminal record makes it hard to find work. I typed back. That's what consequences look like. Irene replied, I know. Just thought you should know she's struggling. I said, she made her choices. I'm making mine. Irene didn't respond after that. That weekend, I went out with colleagues from work. Celebrated the promotion properly. Someone asked about my ex. It's handled, I said. Moving forward now. They smiled. Good for you, man. You seem happier. I was. Not ecstatic, not celebrating, just lighter. Like I'd been carrying something heavy for years and finally put it down. Monday morning, I got a call from the prosecutor's office. She'd completed her plea agreement. Officially convicted. Probation started immediately. She violated probation once already, the prosecutor mentioned. Tried to contact you through a mutual friend. We had to remind her about the restraining order. I said, noted. The prosecutor added, it's extended for another 2 years. If she violates again, she goes to jail. I replied, understood. 3 months later, I got an email from her. Subject line, "I'm sorry." I didn't open it, just forwarded it to Jacob and blocked her email address. "That's a probation violation," Jacob said when he called. "She's not supposed to contact you at all." I told him to handle it however he needed to. He did. She got a warning from her probation officer. One more violation, and she'd serve the original jail sentence. After that, silence. A year later, I was dating someone new. Kennedy. Met her through work, different department. She knew about my past, didn't judge, didn't pry. "You seem like someone who has their life together," she said once. I told her, "I'm someone who learned what I won't tolerate. There's a difference." She smiled. I like that. 2 years after the divorce, I ran into Zara at a store. She recognized me, looked uncomfortable. "I'm sorry about everything," she said quietly. I tried to talk her out of it. I nodded. "I know. I saw the texts." Zara looked down. "She's doing better now. Therapy, new job, trying to move on." I said, "Good for her," and meant it. I didn't hate her anymore. Didn't think about her much at all. She was just someone I used to know who made terrible decisions. And I was someone who walked away before those decisions could destroy me. That's the difference between staying and leaving, between accepting manipulation and demanding respect. I chose respect. I chose myself. And I never looked back. 3 years after that phone call from Officer Harris, I was sitting in my office when Jacob called one last time. "Just wanted to let you know, her probation ended yesterday. Restraining order expired. Legally, she's free to contact you now." I asked, "Will she?" Jacob said, "Doubt it. She violated once, got warned, never tried again. She learned." I replied, "Good." Jacob asked, "How are you doing?" I smiled. "Better than ever. Got another promotion last month. Kennedy and I just moved in together." He said warmly, "That's great. You earned it. All of it." After we hung up, I thought about everything that happened. The fake 911 call, the arrest, the divorce, the years of rebuilding. I could have been bitter, could have let it consume me. But I chose differently. I chose to focus on what I built, not what I lost. That evening, Kennedy asked if I ever thought about my ex. "Sometimes," I admitted. "But not the way you'd think. I don't miss her. I don't hate her. She's just a reminder of what I won't accept anymore. Manipulation, control, someone trying to make me smaller so they can feel bigger." Kennedy nodded. "I'm glad you walked away." I said, "Me too." Later that night, I got a notification. Friend request on social media. Her. I stared at it for 10 seconds. Then I clicked decline and blocked her. Kennedy saw me do it. "Was that her?" I nodded. "Yeah." She asked, "You okay?" I smiled. "I'm perfect." And I meant it. Because here's what I learned. Some people will try to destroy you when they can't control you. They'll lie, manipulate, and play victim. But the moment you stop engaging, stop defending, stop caring what they think, you win. Not because you destroyed them back, but because you built something better without them. My ex got her consequences. Criminal record, probation, years of therapy, loss of jobs and reputation. I got my promotion, my freedom, my self-respect, and eventually someone who actually respected me back. The divorce didn't break me. It freed me. And 3 years later, sitting in my own place with someone who genuinely cared, I realized something. She didn't ruin my life that day she called 911. She saved me from wasting any more years in a marriage that was already dead. Sometimes the trash really does take itself out. You just have to be smart enough to lock the door behind it. I never heard from her again. Never wanted to. And I lived the rest of my life proving that the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's success. It's peace. It's moving forward like they never mattered in the first place. Because they didn't. And I finally understood that. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.